Since 2009, Idaho has sent the same pair to D.C. to represent Idaho in the United States Senate. Senators Mike Crapo and Jim Risch both have earned major influence within the current Republican majority in Washington. In fact, Idaho senators are leading high-profile committees in a way that's rarely seen in the history of the country. It's certainly a unique situation and the focus of Joe Parris's continuing coverage of his visit to D.C.
The United States Senate revolves major work around 20 permanent committees, tasked with creating legislation on all aspects of American life.
I literally get to change topics every 15 minutes. And I deal with everything from international issues to state issues to national issues, everything from tax to healthcare to trade. And it's exciting. It's exciting to be a part of the policy making on such incredibly important issues.
Senator Mike Crapo has represented the state of Idaho in Congress since 1993, transitioning from the House to the Senate in 1999. Since then, Crapo has rose to leader of one of the most crucial spots in Congress, ranking member of the Senate Finance Committee. His days are packed, tracked on a simple sheet of paper.
I carry a schedule card in my pocket, and
just keep going.
Just keep going. This is the card. This one's a real short one, but it's not.
That's a short one?
Yeah.
A key role for Crapo is also leading confirmation hearings for major roles in the federal administration, like Dr. Alex Adams, working to transition from director of Idaho's Department of Health and Welfare to lead the federal administration of children and families under HHS.
Well, I'm always proud to have somebody from the Idaho world here lending their service to the federal government, because I say this all the time, but it's true. We have common sense in Idaho. It's just in the air. And our leaders who come here bring that common sense with them. And Alex showed that in his hearing.
Crapo will tell you he isn't alone in Idaho's influence.
There are 4 committees that are considered to be the most powerful committees in the Senate. That's the Appropriations Committee, the Armed Services Committee, the Foreign Relations Committee, and the Finance Committee. I personally think that the Finance Committee and the Foreign Relations Committee are the 2 most powerful committees in the Senate. And we got an Idahoan who's chairing those 2 committees. I don't know of a time when that's happened, for maybe forever, that the same senators from the same state were chairing the 2 most powerful committees in the Senate.
As chairman of the Foreign Relations Committee, I deal with every treaty that the United States enters into.
Senator Jim Risch represents Idaho on 5 powerful committees. Chair of Foreign Relations and member of the Select Committee on Intelligence, brings an Idaho influence to the world stage.
It cannot come a treaty without me signing off on it, because it's not going to get there unless it comes out of the Foreign Relations Committee. The important treaty we're dealing with right now for Idaho people is the Columbia River Treaty. Every person that has a water right in Idaho, every person that has any kind of interest in water in Idaho, is affected by the Columbia River Treaty. That keeps me coming back. When you have that ability, when you're in a position where you can actually make that kind of a difference for Idaho people, yeah, I get up in the morning saying, it's going to be all right.
As leaders in the Senate, both Risch and Crapo face scrutiny on a local and national level, like for their votes to support the Big Beautiful Bill and a recent rescissions package. Critics question if support of the Big Beautiful Bill will add to the national debt.
The Democrats are right on it. It's adding to the national debt because we don't have a balanced budget. But what this did do that they don't talk about is the deficit, the annual deficit. We ratcheted back considerably so that the addition to the national debt would be lower. That doesn't make it go away. That doesn't mean this problem is solved. We're trying to turn this battleship around, and you can't turn a battleship around immediately. So, I mean, you throw ideas out there like that. Well, it's going to add to the national debt. Well, of course it is. We're adding over $2 trillion every year. We're ratcheting that back.
On the rescissions package, questions swirl on why a Republican majority would approve a budget earlier in the year, only to try and claw it back.
The reason it was sort of clawed back is because the president, under the Doge activities and Elon Musk and his activities when he was working here at Doge, they held back a lot of the funding. But the president doesn't have the right to claw back the funding. He cannot spend it, but he can't pull it back so that it's not authorized. It takes Congress to do that. And that's what that bill was doing, was saying these are some of the things that Doge and the president identified that needed to be corrected. And instead of just having lawsuits over whether the president has to be forced to spend this money, we'll make it clear that this money can be not spent.
Something we touched on in the early part of that story was Director Alex Adams, formerly of the Department of Health and Welfare here, up for a position at HHS. To this point, he has still not had the full confirmation from the United States Senate. And Brian, something I spoke with the Senate congressional delegation is that they have this backlog of so many people that have been through the nominations project and, through the nominations performance, and then they need to get the votes in the Senate. There has not been any unanimous consent votes on these, nominations to be in the Trump administration, and there's actually the first time in history where there's not just these UC votes, unanimous consent votes. So it will be interesting to see when Alex Adams and Mike Boren actually can maybe get confirmed and get to work.
The wheels turn slowly in D.C. Interesting, Senator Crapo's been there since '92, but still a long shot from being the longest tenured senator in that room.
Yeah, Chuck Grassley, a Republican, 50 years there.
50 years. All right, thanks, Joe.